Project-based learning is teaching the curriculum outcomes through a driving question that is really engaging and inspires the students to dive in and learn the content at a deeper level.
When students have control over what they're digging into, that's when we see true engagement. When they're not being told this is what you have to learn about, but instead it's this is what I want to learn more about, that's when we really see that spark and we see that driving sense of this means something to me, and so therefore I'm all in.
The big difference is that project-based learning, the curriculum outcomes drive everything. The teaching of the unit and of the outcomes happens through the course of the project. So it's all integrated together.
The project is the learning. It's not something that happens at the end. From day one to day end, the project is the learning.
It's very structured. We have goals and we set goals with the students along the way. We have regular check-ins as we go so that they are set up for success. And then throughout that process, they are building those skills as we're modeling it and supporting them with that process.
So we created the driving question, how can we empower our voices to invoke change in our democracy? For this PBL, we actually had a couple of collegiate and academies classes participating in the project. So we got an opportunity to work with a really wide range of learners throughout this project. And it can definitely be accommodated for any ability level. Our specific PBL, we knew we wanted students to engage with an authentic audience. And we came to the conclusion that what they could do as a final product was to write these letters to their representatives. We kind of built on that to include a visual component, so our students also created videos to go along as a kind of a digital story with their letter.
For my project, I decided to write to Minister LaGrange about the new K4 curriculum. I didn't think it was up to the standards as a student, and it was just missing a lot of information. As a person who's going to get impacted by that, I feel like I should have a say in what happens. Well, I felt very proud, but I also had a lot of weight on my shoulders because I wasn't just expressing my opinion, I was speaking on behalf of every student in Alberta. It also made me realize that I do have a voice even though I'm very young. I never really thought of writing to a representative because they're so powerful, but now I realize that they're just like me, they're just a normal human being, but they have an important role. And yeah, it was just really fun and it boosted my confidence a lot.
For the Chem 30 PBL, what we did is we had students work in groups of 3 to 4 to help solve the problem in Calgary's landfills of plastic waste. And what students did is they came up with a proposal that would allow them to have a cost associated with it, talk to which city partners and private partners would need to be involved with it, and it ended with a presentation to our Ward 6 Councillor Jeff Davison, who teamed in with us, and many members of the CA community.
So my group's idea was a educational program that we would put into schools to teach students about plastic. And we'd have educators come in and we'd take them on a field day, like they'd go to a highway and do a highway cleanup, or they'd go to the landfill, or they'd clean up around their school depending on the grade. So we divvied up each grade into different categories and came up with key questions for them to learn about plastics and how to educate them on the topic. The PBL is different than a project in the sense you are given a question and you're the one researching and almost teaching yourself, versus a project is often, oh, you're just doing a project on what was taught to you. This is allowing to teach yourself, so you're in charge of what you're learning. Moving forward, I know how to work with new people, and I know how those presenting skills, how to make a PowerPoint that is efficient and effective, how not to read off a slide, just these small little life skills that really matter in the long run. We got to be a part of something that wasn't just in CA, but could also be outside of CA and in the city, and so it makes you feel important even though you're growing up. You get to be a part of something bigger, which is exciting.